talking. Yes? You know, the conversation. Yeah. In that little voice, ordinarily we show up in that conversation. That's a linguistic phenomenon. Now I'm going to put up another slide here, right? I need to measure for my project of bringing this technology here. So when I was in this course, I was looking for this measure. You know, I was surfing the web, looking in Wikipedia, and I actually did find this in Wikipedia. It's like, if I'm going to bring this technology over here, you know, I have some friends that came from university and visited me in St. Louis, and I got to know them and I liked them. And I have another friend who married a Ukrainian woman, and you know, and she was fabulous. So I got an interest, and I happen to know that this technology isn't in this country. So I said, well, that's my impossible promise. I'm going to bring this technology here. Now, you need a measure. If you're going to do something, like if you're going to get good at shooting a bow and arrow, you need some kind of target. Whatever you're working on, you need a target. For some of you, you have a thesis and then you defend it. It's like a target. There's this thing called a PhD, and that's a target. And you engage with your target. Well, I need a kind of a target to see if it's going to be successful. And of course, part of it needs to be like impossible, like unattainable, and probably won't happen in my lifetime. It's like that kind of, there's something about having a kind of promise like that. It gives you a different kind of life. So I don't mean to offend anybody. There's nothing and no one wrong. There's nothing bad here. By the way, if you want to freeze a project, if you want to freeze yourself in a project, just make somebody or something wrong. And you'll be stuck, and the project will be stuck, and you can't move it. You make something wrong, and you're frozen. It's just like freezing. Yeah? Can you see that? And we have long conversations about this in the course, but you know, I'm just getting it out there. So here's this slide, right? Now, you can't see it very well here, but there's red is the countries that are high in this statistics, death by self-inflicted injury. You know what death by self-inflicted injury is? See these countries right here? Lithuania, Ukraine, Russia. You would see Japan, right? Those countries are in red on this graph. So there's a lot of people that kill themselves in these parts. Yes? And now, they're not bad people, and there's nothing wrong. And you don't have a bad country, and there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. If you make it wrong, we're going to be frozen or stuck. That's a linguistic phenomenon, and I can't prove it. You'll have to prove it to yourself by running some experiments. When you leave here, go out and make somebody or something wrong, and then see what that's like. Make this university wrong, or the degree you're working on wrong, or your professors, make them wrong, and watch what happens in the quality of your pursuit of your education and the teaching. Just run that experiment. And then also, here's another experiment, is find somebody or something that you're making wrong, and it could be yourself. It could be, you know, we make ourselves wrong a lot. Yeah, that little voice that says, oh, you're so bad that you don't have a big enough impossible promise, or whatever it says. Then give up that position. Give up making that wrong, yourself or another person, just for a while. You don't have to stop it forever, but just give up that position that they're wrong, or something wrong with them, and watch what happens to the quality of your relationship. Now, I encourage you to run that experiment. So there's nothing wrong here. But let's say you wanted to impact it. Just because it'll give somebody's life something to do. Like, you know, we're going to spend some time here on this planet. You know, I can spend my time accumulating a large pile of money, and then at the end of my life, I can look back and say, gee, look at that big pile of money that I got. You know, aren't I great? Or you can look back at something else. And accumulating a big pile of money gives you a different life than something that maybe involves contribution in other people. I'm not saying that's the truth, but consider that like a possibility. So, this is linguistic. It lives in language. Now, I saw gosh, I can't believe her. I saw the lady previous to me put up discourse. So I know you have that in your language. I don't know if it translates exactly. But there's a discourse, right? We talked about no other animal is this phenomenon seen. Right? So there's this discourse that happens that is correlated to this behavior. Okay, there's a conversation, a private conversation and a public conversation. And that conversation, that discourse at the level of a country, that discourse gives one's behavior. Okay? But we have access to discourse through language, linguistics. We do have access to that. By the way, I looked on other maps in Wikipedia. That's my gold standard of education. And do you know that Ukraine's infant mortality isn't any different than the United States? As many children make it to 1 year old in Ukraine as they do in the US. So it's got nothing to do with like good enough hospital or care or moms being starved. It's got nothing to do with that. Also, if you look at gross domestic product per person, you know, GDP, they call it, how much you make on average, it's not correlated, these deaths by self-inflicted injury, it's not correlated to that. It's not even correlated to intelligence, if you can believe it or not. Somebody has put up a graph about the relative intelligences of country. You're a smart country. This is not related. That behavior is not related to that. It's not related to drug and alcohol abuse. Russia's drug and alcohol use is the same as the U.S. Oh, there's even a happiness index that you can find. Ukraine and the U.S. are equally happy, according to this index. I don't know what all goes into it, but you can look it up on Wikipedia. And I'm taking the case that this behavior has something to do with some conversation that's in the future of the country, some discourse that's in the future of the country. And it has to do with resignation and cynicism. Do you know what I mean, resignation and cynicism? Yeah? Hope is it. I know resignation is a little difficult to translate.